Can't we just give Christ enough thanks and joy? Can we sing praises to an infinite righteousness? We could go back to praising our limited righteousness in a sec. By the way, I'm gonna give you guys a little cheat sheet here. Did you know that we're gonna spend no time in heaven talking about sanctification? There were two saints that said, "What did you guys go through before you were up here in heaven and Christ came?" It was 2 seconds, and they said, "Heaven's cheap enough. We don't want to talk about our sanctified life." Did you know the science of redemption is going to be unpacking infinite imputed sin-bearing righteousness of Christ? She calls that the science of redemption that will unfold to us. Greater and greater, more beautiful light will shine from Calvary's cross throughout all of eternity that will blow our minds. So why are we so dismissive and actually suspicious of that conversation now, when that's going to be an unpacked infinite science throughout eternity that we're going to be astonished as to the beauty of infinite righteousness? Why can't we get started now on that fellowship? Why is that
I want to say, hey, people in the chat, stop him when he's wrong. Stop him when he's wrong. What I'm hearing so far doesn't sound like heresies to me. So let me ask this other question here. I know you've addressed it already, but I want to make it very clear. You do believe in victory over sin. And if you do, what does that look like in practice?
Oh, I love it. Yes, of course, there's victory in sin, but look at it biblically too. How is that victory obtained? It's not obtained through false sanctification. It's obtained through true sanctification. True sanctification is talked about eloquently in 1 Peter chapter 4, where he says that through suffering, we stop sinning. What's suffering? When we look towards Christ and he becomes our everything and Satan's hell on earth attacks you for it. That's what Peter said stops you from sinning. We cease from sinning because we are suffering for our love of Christ. The enmity against Christ comes against us. Satan's wrath comes against us. Our life becomes deconstructed by Satan and the powers of this earth. And it says that through that suffering, they used to rejoice at the suffering that they would receive in the gospel, because that was so sanctifying to them that they started to disattach from this world, and their hope was in heaven. Their hope was at the right hand of God. Their hope was in that crown that was waiting for them upon the day that Christ returns in the clouds of glory, and his advent would reward them for that. Paul was ever diminishing in his sanctified life. He became weaker and weaker and weaker. And the estimate of himself was, he goes from being, I don't come behind any apostle. And then he's like, least the apostles. And as time goes on, he's chief of sinners. Real sanctification brings you to a place, and it's in Acts of the Apostles 5:61, where it says that they literally beat their breast when Christ comes in the clouds of glory, because they're grieving their sinfulness of their nature, but they haven't been sinning. They've been looking towards Christ, loving Christ, but they haven't been sinning, but they're grieving and mourning over the sinfulness of their nature because of the corrupt human channels, even though they haven't been in the business of sinning. They've been condemning the sinfulness of their nature, but praising the hope that they have in infinite righteousness.